Viewer discretion is advised.
It was just so weird to me. That's what you want? So this is how easy females are. So for one, females, you gotta stop being so damn easy.
Mandate.
Welcome to Mandate, where we navigate fresh perspectives and nothing is off the table. Tonight's guest is not from Tamaki is not from Okilani, not even from Aotearoa, New Zealand. She is from the city of Carson California of the US of A. She's an amazing music artist who began her, became internationally recognized after her first single called Flavor, and also which made it to number 1 on iTunes. And so you'll recognize her songs like obviously Flavor, Tell Me, Get Some, and Number 1, just to name a few. She's also performed alongside some amazing artists like Poetic, Sammy J, you had Drew Deasy, also At Ease, and also who else in the mix?
Fiji.
Yeah, Fiji. Yeah, of course, Fiji Veikoso.
Yeah.
And also in 2017, her debut album dropped, which was called For the Lovers. Also made it to number 1 on the Billboard Reggae Albums chart. You'll recognize her also on NBC's American Song Contest as well. But more so, she is an amazing wahine toa. Tēnei toa, incredibly talented. So please put your hands together for the amazing Tenelle!
Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for coming today. It's a real privilege and honor for us to have you tonight on the podcast. And so I thought, just to start the ball rolling, what's the big deal? What's the happening, or what's the vibe in terms of being in Aotearoa, but also your purpose around being here? Because obviously you've got something in the pipelines, something special that I don't think too many people know what's going down.
Yeah, so I've been in Aotearoa for a month. I'm working on my album, and this is my 3rd album, and so I'm really, really excited. I came intentionally to Aotearoa to do my album, for one, because this is my biggest numbers in all of the whole entire world are right here in New Zealand, and for 2, I just know that just the love here in Aotearoa is just so real. And my grandma, coming from Samoa, my grandma came first here to New Zealand, and all her siblings are Pereiras. So they're all here in Aotearoa. And then she was the only sibling that came to America. And then obviously you have me now. But just Aotearoa. I have roots here. I have a lot of family here, and I have a lot of great friends here. And then there's just a lot of great musicians here. The musicianship and love for music and your gifts here are just so special to me. And so that's why I wanted to come here, to make sure that this album projects all of that. Yeah, just because this is a special island, cool. And so me being from the island of Carson, California, and the island of Oahu by ways of Laie, and the island of Kongafuafua, Samoa, and the island of Aotearoa, it's like we're filming over here.
So I forgot to mention today, we get a lot of planes coming over. So
it's shut up. Okay, drink break. No, but that's that. Like, honestly, I specifically prayed for this album for 2 years and planned for this album because faith without works is dead. So my prayer is my faith. My planning was my works, and I planned for me to specifically be here with my cousin Vanessa, all goodness behind the lens. I planned for us to do this album here.
Wow. Because
I know that the best come from here. And then in the Maori culture, like kapa haka, how they sing, they're trained. Even like our Samoans here, like how everyone is still forced to go to church. You know what I mean? Like that. In the States, it's all washed by gangs and politics and things of that nature. And yeah, it's just kind of lost. And here I feel more rooted to who I am.
Wow, it's interesting you say that, Tenelle. Obviously, I forgot to mention you represent 684, 685 Samoa.
Yeah.
But in terms of the culture, obviously the culture of Samoan in Aotearoa, California, and coming here to New Zealand, obviously there's a lot of Samoans, a lot of Hamels, a lot of Tongans, Pacifica, and so forth. So what is it about New Zealand that kind of draws you? Because you said there's something about the people, but is there something about the identity of being Samoan that kind of brings something to light in terms of who you are as an individual?
Oh, definitely. Like, for instance, yesterday we were honored to be on as an extra on a film crew. So like, I've never been on any kind of movie set in my whole entire life, and so to be on a movie set with my cousin, right? This is like, we always say, every day we say, when's the last time we did something for the first time? And every single day we do something for the first time. So like, to be on a movie that's coming out that is Polynesian directed, Polynesian produced, Polynesian makeup artist, Polynesian stylist, Polynesian extras, Polynesian actors. Like, you had Gabby Solomona, Beulah. Like, you had all of these actors that I am so like I fangirl. Because we're from the States, we don't have this recognition that you drive around. I'm in my Uber and I see a Samoan on a bus. You see Bella Kololo on the TV. Like, you see those things, and I'm honored to be able to call them my friends, and so to see that, it's a privilege that I have when I come here, but it's a privilege that you guys have from like being from here. I don't even remember your question. I feel like I'm just ranting right now.
No, it's good. That's good.
But yeah, like just being on that set yesterday. One, I've never been on a movie set, but most importantly was like, whoa, this is so cool. And then he flew his parents from Samoa. Like just those Samoan things that we do, and to have them there, and Ness and I, we're from America, and we walk in with our puletasis on, and so we're like, tulo, and then we ask the auntie and uncle, like, oh, do you want us to make your guys plate? And they're like, no, you're okay. But that gravitated them to our table. Like certain things like that is just who we are. I am so proud to be someone. Like, it's just a beautiful thing to be. And then being here, it just makes you even more proud to just see us on TV and on commercials and on podcasts and on the radio. Like, in Los Angeles we don't have that. In Hawaii there is that, but it being Samoans, there's no Samoan radio host or Samoan on the news. So I just really relate here.
Yeah, awesome.
See, it sounds like you're going to be moving here soon, eh?
Maybe if I find one man.
You better come out.
Is that a hint to Tenelle?
I'm joking.
Put a plug in.
Is this the real reason why you came? Hey.
I thought it was called mandates. Charlie!
Malo,
mandates.
You called us sexy, but it went somewhere else. Next one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, sorry. I'm done. Sorry, I'm just being myself. This is who I am.
Good to know you be yourself. I like that. Oh, man.
Man, how is it in terms of being Polynesian in the States? And obviously it's not anything I'm versed in or experienced in, but how is it in terms of keeping your cultural identity alive? Because I know even in New Zealand, as Polynesian born here, where our grandparents have come from the islands, staying connected to the culture and the language is quite difficult. I can only imagine it must also be difficult over there as a Polynesian.
Yes, definitely. So my dad is third generation. So my papa was second generation. So my dad's second generation. My papa moved from Samoa with Vanessa's dad to Hawaii to San Francisco. Then they stayed in Carson, California, and that's how a lot of us all came. All of the Samoans in Carson, California, and so it is. I will speak on behalf of my own household. Yes, our culture is very washed away, for the simple fact of specifically my family, the gang influence has taken over. And we didn't grow up in a Samoan church. There wasn't a Samoan influence. My grandpa was locked up most of our life, and so he was in jail. When he came from Samoa, he just got into lots of trouble, especially being identified as being Meuli, and so he was one of the first Samoans in LA. My grandpa, Aotearoa, and so for him to be the first Samoan in LA, everyone identified him as black, and he didn't like that, obviously, because he was Samoan, and so he would get in lots of fights. And so then he became a boxer, and he became a boxer in jail. And so, and then my dad is the oldest boy. And so with my dad being the oldest boy, he had a lot to carry, and especially with my grandma coming from Samoa as well. And so you think about it, you have my grandpa and my grandma that both came from Samoa, but met in LA. So they both met in Los Angeles from both migrating from Samoa. And then my grandma passed away when I was 1, so I never really got to know her. So that's why I don't really know how to speak too much Samoan, is because my grandfather was busy fighting for us to still be Samoan. And then my grandma was, had passed away. So yeah, so it is very, like going back to speaking about my own household, it is lost. There's still Samoan congregational churches all over, the Mormon churches. There's still many much Samoan influence, but I'm talking about my own household, and me as Tenelle Falemana, with me being half black and half Samoan. I don't really have I didn't have that kind of household growing up. But my dad did influence that and implement that differently than it just being the language, where it's my body language, where it's where I say tulo, where it's where I give, and it was hard for me to understand how to receive with us being Polynesian, but then that's where my black side comes in, where my mom's like, oh no, girl, you receive it, you receive it, because if they're giving it, that's God's blessings to you. So you receive it, so a lot of things I know that, I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And God placed me right where I was supposed to be. And so for me to represent American Samoa on that show that you mentioned earlier, called American Song Contest, hosted by Kelly Clarkson and Snoop Dogg, it was such an honor. But I also did feel a lack thereof, unfortunately, because I wasn't raised in Samoan, and I wasn't raised speaking Samoan, and I wasn't raised in a Samoan church, or but I was raised by a Samoan father, you know what I mean, and his skin and his blood is full Samoan and Tokelauan, you know what I mean. And so for that to be I just know that in different ways, it's a yes, and in different ways it's a no too.
Cool. What an awesome answer to know. And regardless of if you don't,
long answer,
yeah, but hey,
sorry.
no, good answer, good answer. And regardless if you don't speak the language or speak Samoan fluent, man, you can tell you're Samoan.
Yeah.
You can tell by that laughter.
You can tell by the way you look in somebody's eyes that they're Polynesian, right? You can tell by the way that they shake your hand that they're Polynesian. You can tell by the way that they love on you, or that they're real with you. And this sometimes by the way that someone is saying certain things about a certain individual, you're like, you better go and tell that person. You know what I mean? That is Polynesian. That's us. That's how we were raised. Like, that's how my dad raised me. My dad raised me not to lay down and just let things go.
Cool.
My dad raised me to be bold. I'm his oldest, and I'm his daughter. He says that I should have been his son, but but yeah, I walk boldly in everything that I do. I'm really proud of who I am, So yeah,
That's cool, man. Represent.
That's really cool to hear, and interesting that as the oldest child yourself, your father was also the oldest amongst the siblings, and I feel like sometimes
Oldest boy.
Oldest boy.
Yes.
Sorry, yeah. There's a lot of expectations that come with being the oldest.
Yes.
How have you found dealing with those expectations, and how do you take those expectations on without letting it weigh you down and cripple you almost?
You know, it's all God. Honestly, it's all God. I never let the expectations of anybody depict who I'm supposed to be, you know, because I know that I'm loved by my mom and my dad, and they've always said, like, we don't expect you to be anything but happy. So you do what makes you happy. And so, me being the oldest though, you know, and then I'm the oldest of 7. There's a lot of us. And I know like there's many of you that are watching right now that are oldest. I just want to be an inspiration. I want them to see me and know my truth, like all of my flaws and all, because there's no gray areas about me, and I'm a very open book, you know. And so I want them to see it. I want to talk about all of my woulda, coulda, shouldas, and know that if they were to go through those things too, that you can always get out of that because God is mindful of us, you know. And so, yeah. Like, is that answer your question?
No, that's
Okay,
cool.
cool.
Awesome. Thank you.
You know, you've been coming back and forth to NZ for the last 10 years, and you know,
Yep.
there's obviously something special for you that allows you to keep on coming back. What are some similarities and differences you've seen in like the culture, or when you see others that look like you and and you know that you can identify with?
Man, just like our smiles, you know, our smiles are so genuine. Like for real, it's like our smiles, the way that we are. Am I lying? Every Polynesian woman. So even if it's a girl, it's like, you know, even on set yesterday, like, you know, we didn't really know anybody there, but you know, it's me and my cousin. I'm so thankful that I have my cousin with me. You know, I have made it to a point in my life where I can be able to afford to bring someone that I love along with me, to pray with me and to be with me, to experience the things, you know. And so, yeah, like I you know, people walking past me like that, the respect factor is the same, you know, the tulo, you know, just everything about who we are. The way that I see a lot of my friends here treat their parents, same. The overall morals are all the same. We just grew up with drive-bys and a lot of other things that you guys are, I mean, I'm sad to say, but now I heard that that's kind of happening here too. And drug use, still the same. Alcohol abuse, still the same. Suicide, still the same. Just the devil working and overworking, but he won't win. But that's all still the same. Yeah, it's still the same. Yeah.
That's awesome. And like, people that are watching the podcast, they might not, because the majority of our viewers are New Zealand.
Hi, viewers.
and so they might not understand, like, there's so many, like, the distance between America and us, and like the cultures are very different in those places, but like you sharing these similarities, like it's like normal for us, but it must be massive for you to come all the way from there and say, man, this is so cool. Like they're still the same.
It's still the same.
And
it's the same oka. Yeah. It's the same polisami. It's the same sapusui. It's the same recipe,
bro. Is it the same?
Totally.
They don't do that. It's the same.
It's the same. Or sometimes they say, hui.
Oh.
That's in Hawaii, though.
It's Hawaii.
Hawaii. Nah,
I'm not gonna do that. I don't want to get a hiding.
Nah. Yeah, I mean that's the same, but sometimes that might mean like, you know what I mean?
What are some slangs that
that I've
buzz
learned
you
here,
out that you've heard here that's like, hey, how come you guys say that? Or
that I like.
Or that you like.
Okay,
yeah.
the ones that I like, the things that I love here are 100%. I love that. We love honeys or like 100%. Because you know in LA we say period. And I hate that. Like, stop saying that, everybody. But we're going to go back home and we're going to be like 100. Shelly. Nah, but we love 100%. We love all goods. All goods. I love tumeke. Tumeke. I love go for a fade. Are you ready for a fade? Because I love a fade, okay? I love a fade, all right? I love Muppets. I heard that one. Ooh, that's a bad one. But you fucking Muppets. Sorry, beep it, Kay. But I kind of like that one. I was like, ooh, that's good. What else do I like? I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. Cool. I mean, there's more, but they're probably not appropriate.
Just go for it tonight.
No.
Oh man, that's our case. Tonight, we can get back to your music tonight because obviously you have other artists talk about music. I was raised up singing. I grew up singing. I love singing. That was my passion, my talent. But was it the same for you, or do you have a different story in terms of your ability in music and singing? Do you always grow up, or do you grow up in a household where music was the thing, or do you have a different story?
I have
I read that you're a softball player.
I was, yeah. I'm an athlete.
Hey.
Oh, you Samoan. You Samoan.
You hit that ball, man.
All my siblings are athletes. You're welcome. I was the first cat. No. But yeah, I played college ball. Yeah, I was or uni ball. You say uni. Oi, she's a Kiwi, bro. No, but I was an athlete my whole life, and I've always had like 3 jobs. And my dad has always called me like a Jamaican. You know, Jamaicans have like multiple jobs. So I've always had so many jobs. I was always in school, or I was always at my games or my tournaments. And so yeah. I didn't really do music. I started doing vocal lessons because I was the kind of kid that wanted to do everything. I know. My dad was like so tired of me and my mom, but I wanted to do ice skating. I wanted to be a boxer. That was like one of my real things I really wanted to be. I wanted to pursue boxing. Just because I kind of like to fight in school. Sorry. Sorry, Jesus. Nah, he knows. Yeah, so I started doing music when I was 12. I did vocal lessons because it was like another thing that I wanted to do. And then when I turned 17, I found a passion for it. I just started to love it. But I've always been a writer. Like in my notepads, I have like multiple notepads of like poetry and just journaling. That was like my thing when I was younger. And so I started to just sing them. And then I turned 17. I graduated high school. And then I joined a band called Cord Brown. And I was their background singer. You remember the song Pulana?
Yeah, Pulana.
So the original song Pulana by Cord Brown, not by Josh Sotofi. Shout out to Josh Sotofi, love you, bro. But the original song was done by a guy named Vika. And he did a Pulana. And that was written by my godfather, Robert Went. Yeah, and so then I used to sing backgrounds for the group Polena, and then after that I pretty much just kind of went all in, and I joined Common Kings after that. So I joined Common Kings as a background singer, and then after Common Kings, and Common Kings management helped me get to where I am, with kind of just showing me the ropes of just how to meet and how to land a deal. And then I went on tour with Fiji here in New Zealand. That was my first real tour, and I background sung for him, me and Nisa Collins. And then I was able to do like 4 songs and have my own set. And so after that, it's just kind of everything just kind of elevated from there. I would just learn and pick up pieces. pick up pieces and drop off pieces at the same time. Because that's what life's all about, right? You just pick it up and put it down as you go, and what works for you is for you, because God has this gift in me, and I can't let anybody try to deteriorate the gift that God has for me, which I know is my voice and I know is my music. And so after that, I just started to learn, and I started to self-manage myself. And so I'm still learning, though. So I'm self-managed. I have a nonprofit organization called Mana Sports and Entertainment. And it's with all my cousin Vanessa, my sister Tani, my dad, and all of my siblings. And we're a nonprofit 501c3. And so our goal is to open up a creative shared space for kids in the city of Carson, California, so they have a place to come in like this, to just be able to come in and create. It doesn't have to have any kind of structure, but for that to just come, just come as they are, and then we'll do it. We'll do the rest for them. And so that's my goal. If you guys can pray for me and us and my family out there for Mana, but it's just for them to recognize their Mana again, because it's there, but they can't find it. Sometimes it's hidden over by drugs or whatever's going on in their household that they don't talk about. And so, yeah, that's pretty much my music life. And now I'm here. So, yeah, I came out with my first album with my old management. And then my last album, I came out with the song Island King, which has 10 million streams now. And so that's amazing. It's all God. Everything that I do is all God. Because I sow everything with a yes and an amen, And so, and even all the bad, I'm like, okay, yes and amen. I can handle it, But yeah, and now I'm here recording my third album. So I didn't grow up in a household full of musicians, but I do know that my parents always played good music. Like my dad is a music connoisseur, like R&B, reggae, real music. And that's one thing about New Zealand that LA has that's similar, is that we it's real music. Not this bubblegum music that's out these days, but like real music. I remember the first time I came to New Zealand, they were playing Tevin Campbell, Can We Talk, in a bar next to the first bar that I ever sang at with. And so they were playing Tevin Campbell, Can We Talk. And I remember walking to the bar, and the bar had a C, like grade C on it. And I remember walking in like, oh, what's this bar? Looks like Ones-Wear Warriors. Because,
Sad.
Sorry, but I loved it. I loved it so much because this is my first time. Think about this. My first time to New Zealand, I grew up to Ones-Wear Warriors. Yeah. That was like a movie I watched, and it depicted every household in Carson, California. And truly, things that are just swept under the rug. And so that's our relation. Like Ones-Wear Warriors was that film that like we were like, damn, we ain't the only one going through this crazy stuff, But when I walked into this bar, it looked like one of those Jake the Muss kind of bars where he was throwing the tables and stuff. And they were all singing Tevin Campbell, Can We Talk? And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what the hell? And I swear, we didn't even, I don't think FaceTime was even out then. We had Nextels. Then we had the chirp, yeah. And so I remember calling my family like, yo, they're playing Tevin Campbell, Can We Talk? And that's when I knew, I was like, bro, the music here is real.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. You're right. You're absolutely right. There's some good musos here. And we love the R&B. They love the 90s, 80s, a lot of good, so, I'm glad.
You said real music. What's real music?
To me?
Yeah. Real
music to me is Betty Wright, Fiji, George Vicoso, Mary Wells, Tevin Campbell, Aotearoa. Oh my gosh, it's so much. There's so much with Stan Walker. That's real music. King music, a King. I don't know. Kings, I never met him before. Kings. He has great music. Just the lyrical content. Real music is lyrical. It's musical, but it's more so like where it can pull you in and where you can relate to it. And so that's the music that Renee Geyer, it only happens when I look at you. Like that is real music. Cause that's like, she's talking about real love. And we don't even know if she ever even went through it. She probably saw that on the side of the street in Aotearoa. I don't know. I'm just saying real music is in all forms, but real music is lyrics and it's music. It's like the heartbeat of it. Yeah.
And so when did you know? Was there a moment to know in terms of your music? And because obviously you said you started singing and vocal training at 12 and so forth. Because some people think, they take vocal training and realize, I'm not really good at this. But when did you really kind of come to that point where you said, man, this is what I want to do. This is my passion. I'm going to follow through. I'm all in.
Oh man. I knew that I was meant for music when my brother got shot and he was paralyzed. And then I wrote the song called Bulletproof. It was the first song that I ever actually really recorded. And so that's a song that pretty much started me. So that's a song that Fiji saw first. Everybody saw first to know like who this Tenelle was. Wait, what was your question again? I'm so sorry.
Just when was it the defining moment when you realized that's...
Yeah, so that was the defining moment when my brother got shot, and when I had to pull from some type of emotion because I was so lost, and I knew that there's something more why God was allowing this to happen to my family. In our small city of Carson, California, and where he's just the most humble person, never really said much, very shy. His name's Justin Luafalemana. And so, yeah, he passed away 2 years ago. He actually, it's going to be 3 years, Ness, 3 years on September 29th. And so, yeah, I'll be in Australia opening up for Lauryn Hill. These are things we all talked about my whole life. Like I can't wait to open up for her, bro. I'm opening up for her one day, and I would go, he was shot and paralyzed, and he was paralyzed from his chest down. And things like that will make a person like dig. So I was able to dig into the word of God. I was able to dig into who I am and why I'm here and what my purpose is, and so I was able to just kind of dig into my boldness and the way that I look at a person, or I say hello and nice to meet you and mean it, rather than just saying, hi, nice to meet you, or how's your day? It's like, they don't really care about your days. You know what I mean? But really like ask the person like, how's your day? And them say, oh, it's okay. It's like, oh, well, I hope it gets better. You know what I mean? But his testimony is now my testimony. And that's the reason why I still pursue music, and no one can ever stop me from doing music. It's because now he's doing music in heaven with the Heavenly Father, and I'm still here on earth. But I know like we're right here. I can still feel him. Like I can feel him right now too. And I just know that everything happens for a reason. As horrible as it is that my brother's not here, and I can't just call him like, yo, I just did a podcast over here with Mandates. You know what I mean? They're awesome Usos, bro. I wish you could be here, but that's what I would do even when he was at home paralyzed, and so I still do it. But I just talked to him and he's up there. But yeah, he's the reason why I really found my why.
Man, awesome.
In music. Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing that. It's just rest of love to Justin, your brother.
Thank you.
To also. Oh.
Thank you.
Wow.
Shots, that's powerful. And yeah. Again, rest in love to your brother. And you share a lot, like just through your conversation, you share a lot about God. You always refer to your faith, and that's quite refreshing for us to hear someone that openly talks about, because we're living in a time, man. It's hard to be a Christian and to talk about the God, because people start rolling their eyes. But
you let them roll them. It's
hey,
okay. Yeah, because you roll them right back.
That's the one.
Because in the end of the day, in the end of all days, they're going to be the ones that are going to be looking at you. You know what I mean? You'll be like, I try to tell you. But that's what we gotta do. We gotta walk boldly in our faith, even if our walk is not our walk. Like, like we're drinking Coronas right now, but like, woe is me. like, you know, but greater is he that lives in me, you know, and greater, Greg, just greater is he. That's it. And that's all we got to say. Like, he's mindful of everything we go through every single day, like our finances. Me being here in Aotearoa with just me and my cousin with a little bit of money in our savings account. We came here on pure faith. That's it. But faith without works is dead. So that's why we knew here is where we'll get work. You know, so it really is just our work matching our faith. And like, yeah, like I wouldn't be sitting here with you if it wasn't God, you know. I wouldn't have met you, bro. And so yeah, like I talk about God all the time. And if I can talk about, I need to talk about him more, but I talk about him so much is because we live in a time where no one talks about God no more. And it's becoming to be just watered down conversations, you know. You can't water it down because it's so real. He's so real, you know. And so we deal with like real life spiritual warfare, my family, and you know, us in California and everywhere around the world, you know. Everywhere I travel, you know, I can sense things, you know. I can, you know, certain, and too, because my family, you know, a lot of us all, you know, the drug habits, you know, drugs and the habitual habits that we have as Polynesians are so strong, has a stronghold over our households. Alcohol abuse, drug abuse, just the abusive nature that we have, especially because our tolerance is so high. You know what I mean? So you feel me? Like our tolerance is this high, and then you know, our energy is this high. What? Like, nah, you know what I mean? Like it's just bad and bad. But you know, also our heart just kind of covers all that because we just are such loving people. So I don't even know if I answered your question. Did I answer your question?
No, I love that. So,
okay.
It's quite
Sorry, I'm a little bit of a rambler. I just kind of flow.
We love it.
Okay, cool. I'm a
if we sound
freestyler.
quiet, there's just us that enjoying the conversation.
Okay.
Taking in. No one wants to hear us; they want to hear you.
And
and I asked that because you know you got to draw to something much higher than ourselves when we go through our valleys and when we go through our struggles, you know. And you can tell that your faith is a big part of who you are.
It is.
And your being. And also, like, I've seen clips, some of the coolest clips that I've seen of you is your worship clips.
Thank
your
you.
covers.
Those are done by
That's awesome.
Shot sis. Shot sis.
And so, yeah, I love it, and I can't wait to hear more.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Here's a reason.
Oh, man.
It's really refreshing to hear someone speak so openly about it. And like we mentioned, you know, in this day and age where people can get offended by anything, and even things like religion now trigger people. So to hear someone not just talk about it, but like really openly acknowledge it as part of who they are, part of their journey, and to acknowledge him always. It's really awesome to see.
Yeah, man.
And one of the guests that we had recently, she's a champion boxer.
Yes, I saw that.
She's amazing.
Yes, I saw
and
that.
I remember her saying that, you know, I had asked her the question about if all the stats are the same between people, you know, their training or skills in a boxing match, what was the 1% that separates her from everyone else? And she had mentioned it was her faith. And it's just really cool to see, building on that conversation last week, hearing you talk about your faith and the role that it's played in your journey.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. It's all God. It's not me.
Honestly.
It really is.
Loved it.
It's not me.
But talking about faith as well today, I'm just wondering, was there ever a time, obviously there's some stuff in the music industry that people might frown on, but in the music industry, in the times of you been going through and so forth, a lot of things, all hardships, has there ever been a time when your faith was truly tested and you think, oh God, where are you?
Oh, every day. Every single day. But the Bible also says that our wait, hold on. Let me make sure I quote the Bible right now. The Bible says that joy cometh in the morning. That joy cometh in the morning, and that every day is brand new. So in Ecclesiastes, that's where it says it. You know what I mean? It just says like like nothing is new under the sun. Like everybody struggles. You know what I mean? We all struggle with things that nobody knows about, but nothing is new under the sun. That's it, and that's all. Like truly, that's just how I live my life. And I'm not too hard on myself these days because of that. Because I used to find myself being so hard on myself because I wasn't where I expected myself to be. Going back to like my parents' expectations of me, it was never their expectations of me. It was my own expectations of myself. Like, cause my parents love me regardless if I fall, or because I'm very open with my parents. They know a lot about me and everything about me. My relationships, my heartbreaks, my everything. My siblings and my parents know a lot. And that's why they're pop-offs too, though, you know? But we always know grace, you know? And, you know, cast the first stone. Like everybody messes up. And like we've messed up. Sometimes you don't want to say sorry. Like to this day, I don't want to say sorry to some individuals because I didn't do nothing wrong. But you know what I say? I say, Lord Jesus, just please, just have your way. That's like my ultimate prayer is just have your way, because I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to beat somebody up on the street. We staying in right here, okay? We staying right here. We have some people singing outside of our apartment at like 3 a.m. Like, Vanessa, you am I lying? She's laughing over there. Okay? She's laughing.
Tell us she's out there singing with them.
Because we call them, you know what we call them? We call them crackyokis. I'm sorry, because that's somebody's auntie or uncle. So I'm sorry. Okay, cut that out. Don't put that in there. No, but I'm just saying, like, you just never know what someone else is going through. Someone out there is always going through far worse than what you're going through. So get up, make your bed, and go outside, man. There's somebody out there always going. The world is so big. And that is like one thing that I tell my family from Carson, California all the time. Is the world is so big. Like, just visit Samoa. You know? Like, that's it. A lot of my family has never even been to Samoa. But you're Samoan. You know what I mean? Like, or, you know, I'm black. I've never been to Africa. I don't know what side of Africa. Hold on, that was a little bit far left. But I'm just saying though, like the world is so big. We are one of billions of people. Like, we have to be bold. We have to walk bold. Like your shirt says, we gotta have our pride. You know what I mean? Yeah. So.
Do you sometimes feel the pressure of being like a role model? Obviously, your family must see you and must, man, that's my cousin, man, that's my cousin.
Oh, I have lots of cousins that I never met when I go out now.
Yeah.
Well, you look like that, bro. Because you know what I'm talking about, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's my cousin. I'm like, or they'll be like, oh yeah, I'm related to her on her mom's side. I'm like, Mary, my mom is black. You're Samoan, auntie. Shelley. Anyways,
but
shout to auntie.
But do you feel that pressure to us? Sometimes people like you, obviously you've been talking about expectations, but people must be so proud of you, your family. Like, man, Tenelle, that's my cousin. Your actual cousins.
Yeah, my actual cousins.
Yeah, like, yeah, they're so proud. So you must inspire a lot of them.
Man, yeah. But they too inspire me. You know, right where they are. Like, I may have numbers and may have people that on social media look at me. I have whatever numbers on all of these social media platforms. But I don't know. None of that really matters to me. You know what I mean? Like, you can have all the numbers in the world, but do you got numbers in your bank account? I mean, I'm just saying, how your numbers on your credit to buy a house for your family. Like, those are numbers that I'm focused on. And so, yeah, I'm just different. I'm very different. I'm appreciative for all my numbers. Thank you so much. But I think I have my numbers because it's organic and because I don't try to be anybody else but myself. You know, and that's one thing that I'm very proud of is, and two, another thing why a lot of people or some people don't really like me or I don't talk to anymore. Love you still. But you know, it's just because I just say it. You know, that's why me and Tree are so close. is because we're alike in so many ways. We just say what's on our mind. And we shoot it like it is, you know? And so I think we live in a culture where everybody sugarcoats everything and everybody tiptoes over stuff. And so, yeah, I'm not here to tiptoe. I'm here to walk.
100. That's 100.
Honeys. 100%, bro. 100.
Oh, sorry. No, you go.
Sissy, refill, Sissy. Sissy, you need a...
Come with me.
Sus, you need a beer too, sus. Oh, I love how you guys say, "Ay, sus." Ay? Oh, I like that one. Ay? Okay, sorry, you were going to say something. Sorry.
You've mentioned a couple of times now the importance of, letting go and moving on. And in particular, part of that process is letting go of people. And that's a natural part of growth and things like that. But can you just talk a little bit about having to go through that yourself? Because I imagine it's not always easy, but it's probably always necessary. Yeah?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's necessary. But letting go of people in seasons of your life. Because then you're in a season, right, where you look back and you're like, damn, I miss them. You know what I mean? Or damn, I wish that the woulda, coulda, shouldas that I was talking about kind of play in your mind. But I think I do know that you have to protect your peace at all times. And I do know that communication, learning about who Tenelle Falemana is now, I know that communication is key. Communication is so key. Just like sitting down at a table, it don't gotta be nowhere special, but just saying what you feel so that you guys can bounce back that energy. And whether you yell it out or whatever it is, because once you don't, because I'm talking about myself right now, right? But once you don't allow that to happen and then it festers and it builds and then years build, then it's so hard to go back and have that conversation again. You know what I mean? And then that's our pride that gets in the way of making things right, But sometimes, I don't know, for me now in my life, like I'm happy, There are a lot of woulda, shouldas, couldas, and a lot of relationships that I wish I would have saved because I know that I could have, but I didn't because they didn't. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, why would I if they're not even giving me that kind of energy? I'm not going to continue to I got my whole family, you know what I mean, to worry about and to make sure that they're good, and to like, I'm just a different person. Like it's, I just, there's always things going crazy in my life where if it's Lord Jesus, please, like if it's not my brother being locked up or, my house being shot up or my cars being shot up or just the chaos of literally living in a family that is from Carson, California. You know what I mean? And not even just that, but just in those seasons of life where that's just what it was, I just know that, I don't know, sometimes I wish I would have fought for it, but I didn't. Sorry, excuse me. And it is what it is. And I don't know. That's an I don't know question.
Yeah, no, fair.
It's like a circle. I'm just going in a circle right there, huh?
You mentioned something.
What'd I say?
You said for some of those relationships, looking back, there are some that you kind of wish you had fought for.
Yeah.
Are there common themes in those relationships where you can now identify a relationship that's worth saving versus ones that, okay.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And then all of them could have been saved with a conversation. Yeah. And then that one relationship could have helped all the other relationships. You know what I mean? Because I met all of these people because of this one person, And so for me, I mean, most females would be like, oh my gosh, I messed up. I should have just, and it's like, for me, I'm like, you messed up, you know? But too, it's like we both messed up. That's how I feel. Like we both messed up. We both have pride. We both didn't say sorry. We both didn't talk. And so then it kind of makes it a domino effect of issues. That still kind of happened in my life, but for the most part, I'm happy where I am. God rebuilt this house, and I'm proud of what we're doing, you know. So yeah,
It's good.
yeah,
And you know, it goes back to what you also said, like in terms of always protecting your peace.
yeah.
And so there's seasons where, you know, you're gonna end relationships, but there's also be a season where you get to rebuild, and it's all part of your growth, and
Yeah.
you get to teach us some of these lessons. And,
Thank you.
and some of these lessons, like Pete's going through, like he just wants to fight everyone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
It's just
Yeah.
Sam. It's the Sam, wouldn't be?
Is it? Is that why you're not drinking with us? You're gonna jig the mustard table up. You'll be like, can we talk? Sorry.
Be careful.
Sorry, my little Tevin.
Oh man, so just go back to relationships, because I'm looking at, man, Tenelle, why? What? You're beautiful.
Why am I single? You're gonna ask
Yeah,
that?
I'm gonna ask you.
Shit.
Why why are you still single? Surely men will be watching this. Man, gaya.
You know, one, I'm very, very, very picky. And for two, you know, I'm going to be very honest. Men do not approach me. They do not. I think that I have that, honestly, this is me honest. I think that I carry that real energy where it intimidates men, where I'm not just on one night. I'm a forever. So they either have to approach me with that forever kind of energy or don't approach me at all. And that's why nobody has approached me. And plus, I pray all the time for my future husband to come and approach me. And he hasn't approached me still. So I know that whoever and wherever I travel, which I travel many places, many countries, many cities, many islands, and no one has ever approached me. I mean, a couple have, but you know, like I said, you can see a lot in somebody's eyes, right? Like I'm just not that kind of person. If I was, it'd be a different story. But I'm not her.
Man, props to you, man. Props to you. Hard out.
Yeah.
after this
Sometimes.
podcast, after this episode goes up,
Surely.
your prayers gonna be answered. We'll be like, why you want to push me?
You're gonna.
I guarantee you, probably not.
It will be.
Because how many times I've been on radio and everyone always asks like 10, because my nickname is 10. So like 10, how come you don't have a man? I'm like, you tell me, like, you know. So waiting for Jason Momoa to call me, you know. I'm just kidding. Nah, Jason, hurry up. Nah, but I honestly I know that it's that. I know that I carry I carry a different energy. Like even in LA, men are aggressive. Here, you guys are very respectful, which I really love about here. But then you guys also are so respectful. You guys do not even reproach somebody. Where I'd be like, "Damn, Nessie, he fine over there," and I'm like, they're trying to make eye contact, like, "You over there, yo, what the fuck? They don't see us or not? Hello." You know, it just feels like nobody's even looking. No, I'm sorry. No, am I honest? Am I being frank?
You're probably right. You're probably
Yeah,
right.
I'm right. I know I'm right. I've been here. I've been traveling here for a long time, okay? Nah, but and it's a great thing to have. And then in LA, it's like everyone's so aggressive, you know, like where men are just like, "Damn, you fine as fuck," and this is like, no. But I think with me, I just carry that aura, or God has this aura protect. He has his hand of protection over me, where he's like, nope. Like he's literally, I walk. God is like this, like, and Men do not approach me. I promise. They don't. I don't know what it is. But at this point in my life, I am over 30 years old. And so now it's like, dang. And my dad and my mom are like, when are you going to settle down and have kids now? Now I'm having those conversations. Yeah. But yeah, it's just not my time.
Bro, we gotta help the sis, man.
Shut up.
We gotta help the sis. So come on, man. Come on, the brothers. What's up with the brothers out there? Come approach the sis, man.
I know a single guy. If you give him the eyes, his eyes will be like. But I love your answer in terms of like, oh, God's timing. Like God's got His hand in
it.
It
is though.
Yeah. You ain't thirsty or.
Not.
Yeah. And
I was always thirsty for my alcohol. Don't worry.
And it's a massive encouragement for our young ladies who.
Yeah, like I mean,
because there's always pressure to be in a relationship, and we always like celebrate couples and whatever, but we don't really talk about the power of being single.
Yeah, and the new thing now too is like celebrating couples that are not married. You know what I mean? Like everybody has all these gender reveals, and let me just talk about it, okay? I'm gonna hurt some people's feelings right now.
We're gonna go there. We're gonna go this.
Okay, because they're gonna troll me in these comments right now, okay? I'm not talking directly to you. I'm talking about the overall, because in the future, God bless your wedding. But I just know for me that we live in a time where this is just okay. Like, that's why dating sucks, is because everyone just gets pregnant and then they just have gender reveals and fucking pop freaking fireworks and stuff. And then you find out that this guy got a whole nother baby mama that got a baby that's the same age as the baby. That ain't even born. It's just, and everything is just supposed to be okay. And you gonna post that on your Instagram. That's why your Instagram numbers don't mean shit to you. Like, you know what I mean? It's just the dating scene these days is so weird. Where, I mean, it's just weird. I'm not gonna talk anymore about that because I feel like I'm gonna hurt people's feelings. But I just know for me, it's just not it. And men these days kind of see me as being this Tenelle. Especially the Samoan men, I can see, the Polynesian men, I'll say, will see me as this. And I'll say, I had this date, right? I ain't gonna say who he is, but if you watch this, you ain't shit. But I had this date, and I hadn't gone on a date in a long time since a long time ago with. Anyways, I'm not even going to talk about him either because he's irrelevant. Anyways, so I had this date, right? And he brought his cousin to the date. Yeah.
Please, is he Samoan? Was he Samoan?
Samoan.
Oh, man.
He was Samoan, and he brought his cousin to the date. And then after, he just thought that he was going to get something from me. This is the first time we ever sat, like we're together ever. We only FaceTime a little bit after his practice or whatever. And it was just so weird to me that it was like, that's what you want? So this is how easy females are. So for one, females, you got to stop being so damn easy because you make it hard for the females that have respect for themselves. And then the men, they just take advantage of it. And then all these women just like, it's like flocks, you know what I mean? Like, they're like, what are those birds' nests we saw at the museum? They're like a whole bunch of moors. It's just like they just flock in like a gang of moors. Moors are extinct, obviously, but I'm just saying, like, it's just the aggressiveness of females. And then like the men, and then like this date was like stupid. And I was sitting there like, I can't believe my siblings talked me into coming to this damn date. You know what I mean? And all he kept seeing was like captions from like Instagram. You like sitting down, like, okay, can I curse on here? I don't know.
Yeah,
I can? Okay, cool. So the first thing he said was, damn, Tenelle, you fine as fuck. And I remember being like, oh my gosh, what am I doing here? I told you guys I didn't want to go. So like, that's like, and this is my first date in like 5 years. So yeah, I don't know. The dating scene is just dumb.
God's saving someone special for you.
Yeah, he is. He just better hurry the hell up.
Hurry up, man.
Hurry up, man.
Jason.
So fuck.
It's funny hearing that experience, and even when you first gave the answer about the dating and that, I figured that it would be a case of, because you're so strong in who you are, that would intimidate men these days. And I think, if anything, it says a lot about the state of men in today's world.
For sure, man.
Exactly.
Yeah. So just really interesting to hear your lived experience.
Yeah.
And yeah, I imagine you would be intimidating, because in a world where everyone's for the gram and trying to, chase clout, it's, you stand out.
And where
as
the
unique.
men use filters, crazy.
Men are using filters now.
That shit is crazy to me. Like, how you gonna be on your story using filters?
The only
You
filter
had to push
I
the
would
mic when
use,
she said.
the only filter I would use is one that to cover the pungifo.
Yeah. I mean, a soft one, but people be using. I mean, sorry, I feel like I'm dragging a lot of people right now. But I mean, hey, like, you're a man. Like, man, we need our man back. We need our man back. Like where the men that don't have to have multiple women just to, for what? Like, go to the gym or something. Like, go get your endorphins out in the gym. You know, I just feel like there's so many people cheat these days. Like, I have multiple friends that call me crying. Like, and I'm that sister for everyone, from Hawaii to New Zealand to LA to Utah to just everywhere, to Australia. Like, I have so many friends that call me about issues with their man. And because I don't have a man, I feel like a lot of women can talk to me because I can relate with them because I had one, but then I don't have one, and I have like a sound mind. I guess I kind of sound. But yeah, like, I just feel like, I don't know. Men aren't men in these days. Ooh. And also, women ain't women in these days either. You know? How you walk out of the house, is that how you want your future man to see you? You know what I mean? It just feels like I don't know, it's just so much lacked in our communities these days. And especially with just so much of the fake. It's a lot of fakeness and so much just fuckery, honestly. Social media is really doing a toll on us, you know? Yeah.
So how do we balance that then? If like social media is
I don't
influenced
know.
it, then there has
I mean,
to be
we
a way
do
to bring balance
podcasts like
back,
this, like where we bring in more women that are married, and too, like, you know, I know I'm married. I have lots of married friends that have issues, and I mean, but what married couple doesn't have issues? But to have those married friends and single friends and friends that date, but if you do it like a melting pot of that, like here in this podcast, that'd be pretty cool. I think so. I don't know. I just know that we live in the times where just 60 seconds matters, as far as like, that's how long a reel is on your Instagram. And then that's how far someone's attention span is, you know, like everyone's attention span is so short. Everyone's conversation is short. Everyone's hello doesn't matter. Everyone's how are you doesn't mean shit, you know? And then when people just are just existing, you know?
Oh, for sure.
They're just existing just to get by. And it's just like, there's so much more to life than just existing. Like we're here to live. Like, and two, with my brother passing away, right? So first he was shot, paralyzed. Now he's not here no more, tangibly here. I cannot touch my brother ever again, you know? And I don't know how heaven's gonna be when I go. You know, I don't even know if I'll be able to touch him. I don't know what kind of angel he'll be. You know, I feel like he'll be one of the biggest angel by the throne of God. But I just don't know. So like who are we? Like, why are we here? Like if I don't have to date a person, or if I don't get married, which is one of my fears, right? Because I'm older now, even though I look very young. But if I don't date again or get married in my life, I know that I'll be happy because I have my siblings. But what about the ones that don't have siblings? And what about the women that are just single children by themselves and that are my age and don't have family and live in a country that nobody knows them? Like, those are the ones that I feel for. Like, damn, who do you have to talk to? I don't know. Like I said, going back to, there's always somebody out there that's going through far worse than you.
Yeah, I loved it.
Man, you throw some truth bombs tonight. Yeah,
Hey, this is how we talk every day.
I just want to give you the opportunity because I know there's so much more we can talk about, but I want to give you the opportunity to have a toilet break.
Okay.
Do you want a toilet break?
Nah,
No?
I'm good.
Okay, carry.
Why you gotta go?
Yeah.
Go toilet then, mate.
No, we'll carry on.
Oh, and I love what you said, Tenelle. You said men are not men these days, and also you mentioned women are not women these days. But I know why. I'm just pinpointing, but just my opinion. I know why you're still single, because you're a high value woman.
Hard valued,
or high
valued.
And so, regardless if it's money or what, but your values, your morals, you stand on your conviction. And I think, and you've got a strong personality, and I think a lot of men are kind of fearful for, and which is cool, because our women need to hear that, and also our men need to hear that.
Yeah,
That a woman, our men, us as men, we respect that. Like, man, that's a woman. That's not even a woman, to be honest. That's a lady.
yeah.
And so, as men, I think, man, that's a lady. That's a lady who knows her purpose, who knows who she is, her identity, is strong in her convictions. And not going to come as, okay, can I just, you know what, I like you. Can I just, one day, first day, let's just sleep. I like what you said.
I'm not that person.
Yeah, and that's probably why men are like, oh, no, I can't, because
I'm a lady.
This is a real one. This is a real lady. And so our men need to hear that, but also our women need to hear that, hey, you stand up, you're beautiful, you're someone, men can't just come and walk over you and take advantage of you. We need women to be.
My mom always says too, is beauty is what beauty does.
Yeah.
You know, like you can be the most beautiful girl, but you could always also be the hole in the bathroom too. You know what I mean? Like, you can be the most beautiful girl, but what beauty are you portraying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? And how are you portraying your beauty? You know, like I'll say, I like to go to strip clubs. Okay. I'm a Christian that likes to go to strip clubs. Don't judge me. Okay. But I like to go to strip clubs, okay? And so I'm the kind of person that goes to strip clubs and talks to the strippers like, so sis, like, so what got you to this point? Like, how did you become a dancer here? You know, like, I'm that person, like, and I am so serious. Everyone hates it. Like, I'm sure my cousin back there is rolling her eyes right now, but that's just who, I don't know. That's who I'm very like, I just love. And so I'm that kind of person that just wants to know, like, how do people get to where they are? Even like going to, like, my uncle, he started a nonprofit organization called, sorry, let me start that over so we can maybe cut this. But my uncle started this nonprofit organization called Full Movement out of California, and so it's made up of like hundreds of Polynesian men that have all been incarcerated or that are battling drugs. So they all kind of get together to empower the youth. And so it's so beautiful what they have going on, and I'll send you the link so that you can read up on them and like follow them in their journey. But why did I even bring them up? But I don't know why I brought them up right now. Anywho, I brought them. Well, I brought them up because God said bring them up. So yeah, but my uncles, they have full movement, and they are, they're doing like great things in California as far as like inspiring the youth and helping people that are incarcerated get funding and like get like, you know, put money on their books and things of that nature. I don't even know why I brought them up. I had a point to this, but I forgot
You transitioned to them from after you like talking to people why they get to where they at.
Yes,
Yeah.
why they get to where they at. Because my uncle who started Full Movement is my dad's brother. And so my dad, he was heavy into drugs, super heavy into drugs. And I remember telling my uncle, and this is why I know people deserve second chances, is I remember telling my uncle, like, no, uncle, you can do it. You can do it. You got it. I'm going to take you to the hospital. We're going to figure it out. I remember taking him to the hospital and him just being just so high off of meth. You know, methamphetamine is killing our people. You know, and so, and my family is a victim of meth as well. And so, yeah, I remember looking at him and saying, I got you. And he says to this day, like, you know, I have helped him kind of like just fight that demon. But then he started Full Movement. But so just saying that, you know, like there's always someone out there that's going through far worse than you. I feel like I'm rambling again.
That's cool. That's cool.
Okay, sorry.
I love how your family agents of change. Like you guys got your uncles doing the Full Movement, and then also you got like that drop-in center type thing where you're providing youth for, you know, opportunities.
Exactly.
To be creatives and
Mana, Mana Entertainment, yeah.
And so it's amazing. We love to hear that because on this side we got so many different organizations that have the heart and want to do the same thing. But
you guys are doing the same thing, you know, which is so cool. And I was inspired by that from coming here as well. You know, there's so many organizations here, and because you guys are the majority, you know, here we're the minority there. So it's really cool to see like how much just how much love is here. You know, it's really amazing. Like this year is amazing. Us walking in and like seeing this production, bro over there on the ones and twos. He looked like he about to DJ right now. Play a song. Nah, like that's because I'm a musician. Oh, muso ass. But I'm just saying though, like this is just really cool. This is amazing.
Man, props, thanks. And he is a muso as well.
Are you gonna sing a song? Nasa, you wanna come sing a song? Leai.
Oh man, so many gems, Tenelle. So Tenelle, obviously there's some concerts and some festivals that you're part of. Obviously there's the Homeland Festival that's coming up next month.
Yes.
Yeah, well, tell us about that because that's a big one that's coming up for you.
Yeah. So next week we actually leave to Australia. And I get to open up for Lauryn Hill. Oh my gosh. I know, I'm so excited. This has been like a dream of mine since I started singing. Like literally since I was 12. Like I mean, I always loved music, grew up on music, but yeah, I get to
so cool.
What the heck? I know. And then then we come back and then I get to open for Sandwalker. I am such a huge fan of Sandwalker, like beyond. And then I get to watch Aradna come back. Yeah. You know, Aradna is one of my really good friends. She just came out with she's coming out with a new album. So she has a new visual out right now too. It just dropped yesterday. So that's like my sister, like my real sister, 10 years. So when she came to LA to work on her music, I would be the one that went to go check up on her. And so, yeah, it's just really cool to see her growth. But yeah, then I come back here to New Zealand and I finish up my album. Hopefully get to shoot a music video.
Let us know if you need some extras.
Charlene. I will let you know. I got you. We might shoot it right here with these lights right here. I might just lean right here on this locker
room.
right here by Jordan.
We'll create that bar with the and we'll start saying, "Can we talk?"
Can we talk? Yeah.
Yes, that's the intro. That's the intro. Nah, but yeah, I'm excited that Booyah Tribe is coming back.
Yeah, the Booyah Tribe.
You know, rest in peace to my Uncle Red. That was my dad's best friend.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I'm super excited for that. We got my all my cousins coming from Carson, and my Uncle Baby Down from Brownsville is gonna be here. So yeah, man, it's really, really cool. I'm super excited because we've been here for 4 weeks. So we've been here for a whole month, and so it's gonna be really nice to see some familiar faces because it's only been my cousin and I here this whole time. In our Airbnb, but we mostly just live in a studio. And so yeah, really excited for that. And then I'm excited for next year. You know, I do know that next year is when God willing and in God's timing, we'll be selling out shows next year here in Aotearoa and all over the Pacific Triangle. Amen. You know, like that's my goal. I have a goal, and I know that with God and with my team that I have now, it's we can't fail. We will not lose. And two, because like people can relate to us. And so this album's going to be really nice. And I mean, what's so crazy is I haven't even been able to share my music or my album with my family back home. Cause I usually like, if I do a song, I'll send it like, hey, what do you guys think? And then, you know, my siblings or my brothers will be like, sucks. You know what I mean? Usually they'll be like, sucks. But I haven't sent anything to anyone these whole 4 weeks. So yeah, we got 3 more weeks of studio. Yeah, 7 weeks of this studio making album. 7's the number of completion. So I'm really excited.
The number of completion.
Yes,
that's right.
it is. Yeah.
What's the inspiration this time around? What's the new album?
Inspiration.
Can you talk about it?
I can't talk about it too much, but I can say that I came here to Aotearoa to work on my album because this is where I know God wanted me to be. This is where I found like just newness of vocals and myself in lyrics. I could submerge myself in the Maori culture and kapahaka. I'm a sponge, you know. And I'm working with Precise. They're my distribution company out here in New Zealand. What else can I say? It's kind of hard because I can't say much. But I can say whatever I want to say because I manage myself, but I just want it to be special, you know? It's going to be an album dedicated to my brother, and my family, and every family and every household that goes through the same things we go through. And it's going to kind of take you back in time too, where your moms and your dads will be able to sing along. That's all I could say right now because I feel like I'm talking too much. But it's gonna be like a sing along one. I'm like really excited. I really worked like 2 years for this whole album to do it in these 7 weeks. And what else? We've been working at Parachute Studios, Big Fan Studios, and Roundhead Studios. So those are like the top 3 in all of New Zealand, which is not all of New Zealand. Sorry if you have a studio, let me know. I would love to come record there for the low. But yeah, I'm just really excited.
Ooh, no collaborations or anything. It's just
I can't say that. That's too much. That's too much to say. What are you doing here, bro?
He was fishing for it.
He was fishing for that one. Nah, I can't.
No,
I want to say a lot, but I really can't.
It's exciting, man. Exciting. Man.
I'm excited. It's been a long time coming, and I pray that we can sell out some shows and open up Mana back home and everywhere else around the world. Yeah.
But how about home? Are you, obviously, you're well received here in New Zealand and also Australia. But how about home? Like obviously in the big cities, and they're like, man, Tenelle.
Oh yeah, I mean the love is there, but they see me all the time. You know, like it's like, oh, Tenelle's gonna be cooking at Auntie's house. I love to cook. That's like my thing. So people always ask like, what do you like to do in your spare time? And I love cooking. Cooking is like, well, I'm the oldest, so we always had to make something out of nothing, huh? And so yeah. But what did you ask me? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just saying that the love. Obviously, you're well received here in Aotearoa.
Oh, in LA, yeah.
In LA.
In LA, it's a little different because it's so how do you say? There's so much music, different genres, and I mean, there's different genres here too, but it's everybody wants to come to Hollywood, you know. And I can't stand Hollywood, you know. I mean, we lived in Hollywood our whole life, you know, and it's a place where that, you know, you really have to be prayed over, you know, to be able to. It's a lot of crazy stuff over there, but nevertheless, to say I love living in LA. I love being from Carson, California, but yeah, I'm not really. I don't sell out shows there. It's really hard. It's really hard to sell out shows where you're from. Sadly. To say, but it's the truth. You know, I have to go outside of my home to sell out shows.
Because you're international.
Yes, amen.
You're global.
I meant to go away from home to bring it back home, you know? And so, yeah, I just know that home is where you are, where you're happy. You know, I feel home here. You know, I feel home when I'm in Samoa. I feel home. You know, that's motherland. I'm home. When I'm in New Zealand, I know that my grandma stepped on these pavements of Aotearoa. I'm home. I know when I go to Hawaii, I'm home. And when I land in Carson, California, where I know my dad and my mom are, I'm home. Yeah.
Man, just oh, sorry.
I know we're talking a lot of
It's
highlights
okay.
and great stuff, and you know, this month.
Oh, you're gonna get dark, huh?
I'm gonna get dark.
Oh yeah.
This month were New Zealand's not celebrating, but it's just Mental Health Awareness Week or Awareness Month, and so I guess we have like some of the highest stats in suicide.
I remember that.
Yeah, and so a big part of our podcast is like normalizing certain conversations and some of the taboo stuff that we go through, and I guess what I'm trying to get at is like in terms of your mental wellness and health, like what were some of the darkest times for you that you went through, and how did you get out of it? Like,
you know, I wouldn't label it my darkest, but it was a dark time because I don't know what is ahead of me. But I would say one of my dark times were when my brother was shot. Yeah, that was a dark season of my life, but it led me to a light time because I found music and I started to write, and then I started to sing. So there's a difference between singing and singing. You know what I mean? Where you sing to please the people, but then when you sing, you give yourself goosebumps. And so, yeah, man, I just know that when my brother passed, it was really, really hard on our family. But too, like, I just feel like the devil always is overworking, putting in overtime for mine. And I think it's because of the grace that he knows God has over us, and the blessings that he knows God has in store for us. Because just like God has the Bible, the devil knows the Bible too. So, you know, he knows the ones that are anointed, and I know that I have that power. And so I just know that he's always He's always working every single day. My first week being here in Aotearoa, I could not sleep for 7 days. And I was just kind of just struggling to just find rest, which then messed up my voice, then my sessions, and then my album, which is like my everything that I planned for 2 years, you know. And so I did, like, you know, it is, he's constantly trying to break us and shake us. And so with our mental, we just really have to be prayed up and just look at I would say just look at the promises that God has in store for us, you know, like just look at the future and always look at like what other people's issues, because that really helps you look at your own, like, wow, I'm really not going through that much. If sis over here, you know what I mean? If she is facing this, then how dare me feel this? You know what I mean? Even though we're all entitled to our feelings, I just know that when you really look at other people's situations, you can really see, like, you're really not going through that. Somebody else is always going through more, far worse than what you're going through. Yeah.
Love that
Yeah.
type of
There's all kinds of dark, but we ain't gonna give it all that, okay? Because that's in the past. We ain't gonna give it too much energy or time.
love that.
Doesn't need that much time.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
And I love, like, you talk about there's this hope and
it has to be.
and your eyes is fixed on that, and then, you know, you keep your eye on the promise.
Yep.
Where you work out the process in the meantime, and
Yep.
I love that for you. So
That's
Trust
it,
us.
bro. Thank you, bro.
Cool. So we don't have to rehash all that trauma and that the past.
Nah. Sometimes it's best not to be talked about, you know, because when you re-talk it, you relive it, you know, and sometimes people are not strong enough to relive it, you know, until you are strong enough to relive it. And then it's a testimony that you're helping others. Then you can talk about it. But when you talk about it and talk about it and talk about it, and where it's like festering in your head because you never ever dealt with it, then what's the point of talking about it if you ain't gonna deal with
Deal
it?
with it, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you gotta just deal with the shit, or just don't talk about it, and then just, you know. But then not talking about it's bad too. Then it just festers inside internally, and then you don't talk about it, which is what a lot of us Polynesian families do. Is we just sweep everything under the rug. But I don't know. You know, all I could do is just figure out my own. You know what I mean? And then for me, what works for me, and what works for me is to just not talk about it. You know, going back to, like, you know, it could be so old saying of, like, you know, my cousin Ness always says it, but if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. You know what I mean? And if you don't have nothing life to say, you know, don't say it at all. It's just, if you're not speaking life over an individual, don't say it. You know, and then too about yourself. If you're not speaking life over yourself, there's a saying called be careful what you say about yourself because you're listening. You know what I mean? Be careful what you say about yourself because you can hear yourself, because life and death is in the power of your tongue. You know, that's what the Bible says. So you really had to, like, really, the Bible got all the bars, man. The Bible is the truth is the truth. Like, it really has all the bars for life, for lessons, for everything. Like, yeah, but life and death is the power of the tongue. And if you ain't speaking life, then don't speak at all. That's it, and that's all. That's
Straight
the bar.
up, man.
Whoa,
Straight up,
that's a
man.
song.
Straight up, man.
But I'm just saying, like, it's important, and I feel like all of us these days, we're on social media with all these followers and whatnot, and women are quick to, you know, post a half naked picture. Men are quick to slide in somebody's DMs. Someone is quick to, who doesn't have followers, be like, I want to be like them. Everyone wants to have something that they don't have, or be something that they're not. And that's just how it's going. It's going to go like that. But we have to be the ones that kind of stand apart from it, because we're not of this world. because greater is he that lives in me than he that's in the world.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, Anis.
The awesome thing about all our interviews is that's what we get from our guests.
Yeah.
Because you always share about your why, your purpose, and what you're being mandated to do. And
Yeah.
so, yeah.
That's it, man. If
And
you
I
don't know your why,
Yeah.
then why?
Boy.
Then why are you doing it? You know, if you don't know your why, then why?
Love that.
Yeah.
But tell us some more about the American Song Contest, because that's massive. That's a massive feat to be a part of, but also to write your own lyrics and your own songs. And tell us how the whole ordeal, how you went through the paces there and the auditioning, all that kind of stuff, and the people you met and the songs you wrote.
Man, so that was the same year that my brother passed away. And so I tried out for like The Voice like numerous times, and I never made it. I always made it like not numerous times, okay, 2 times. And I made it all the way through to where you're supposed to get the email where they give you the hotel room and you get in or whatever. But I never got the email. And so the producers of The Voice were actually pissed off that I kept not making it. And they're the ones that reached out to me. And so they reached out to me saying that they were curating the show called American Song Contest, and they wanted me to represent, and it was going to be all 50 states of the U.S. And they wanted me to represent Hawaii. And so they're like, yeah, we're doing all 50 states and the U.S. territories. And so I'm like, okay, so you want me to do Hawaii? Okay, that's such an honor, because I do represent Hawaii to the hundreds, but I'm Samoan. So you said the territories, right? There's 6 territories, right? So there's to American Samoa. Can I have the honor of representing American Samoa? And it happened so fast that they were like, well, we don't have anybody for American Samoa. And we honestly, we're just curating the show. So we had been working on the show for about 8 months before it actually came out. And yeah, they said original song. Kelly Clarkson and Snoop Dogg are going to be the judges or the MCs, and the MCs and the world are going to be the judges. Like, we'll have judges that are going to, I said, someone's got us. We got this. We got this. Us, the Polynesians, we got this. We got this in a bag, right? So yeah, they asked for me to write an original song, and so I wrote a song called Full Circle, and I wrote it with my Uncle Trent from Brownsville, Baby Down, and he lost his son to gun violence, and I lost my brother to gun violence, and so he's like one of the he's like my number one that I go to for music advice and lyrics. And so, yeah, I asked him if he can help me write the song. And so we wrote the song, and we started with pray for the ones that we got and blessed by the ones that we've lost. Yeah, yeah. So it was just like so powerful because I knew, because this show came out right after COVID, and I knew so many people have lost their loved ones from COVID. And I knew that it was a time like, dang, like I just want to lift everybody up. I don't want to sing about, like love or a guy or anything like that. I want to sing about life and like what it is to me right now. So, yeah, I just kind of wrote that song about my life and the full circle, because I always see the hope and I always see the promises of God that he has for me. So yeah, that's why we started with pray for the ones that we got and blessed by the ones that we've lost. Yeah, yeah. Pray for the ones that we got and blessed by the ones that we've lost. Yeah, yeah. Though we may not think today, we're gonna be okay. Pray for the ones that we got and blessed by the ones that we've lost. Then it ends up full circle, come around and round, because life comes around. Full circle. Yeah. And like the lyrics of that song are like, everything. Life is so beautiful. Give thanks every day. Time's not per usual. Our struggles are not the same, because fighting for who I love and can't let anyone try to take, my blood and my tears that stain the path I've paved with pain, because respect is earned. We can expect return if we can correct and learn. Let's bring about change and show them their worth. Every single word is very intentional in everything I do, whether it's about love or life. And yeah, that was amazing. And I know I remember Kelly Clarkson and Snoop Dogg being like, yeah, that's a good song. But I don't know if they were doing that for the TV. But I know that I looked at my parents in a crowd and my best friends and Vanessa and my siblings and my cousins and, and they were like, just seeing me on that big stage, I had, this is NBC Universal dollars, I'm not getting paid that much money. You know what I mean? I'm taking off of shows and touring and my own personal life that supplies a lot of lives, And so, I remember being like, I'm representing Samoa. I got to put everything on pause right now. And I'm going to be on national television for the first time in my whole life, and I'm going to just be myself. In every interview, I was myself. In every outfit that I wore, every ofu was made by a Samoan. They wanted to put me in like Versace and Dior and all this crazy stuff. I'm like, girl, do I got Versace and Dior at home? I'm gonna be right here and I'm gonna be true to who I am. And so I had Afa Alu from Samoa. He did all of my ofus. He actually did the ofus for Miss Samoa. Wow. Yeah, for Moana. Moana?
No, Shwinky.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shwinky, yeah. So he did her ofus as well, but he did my ofus for the song contest. So yeah, he's just so amazing. He, when you just see an individual's heart, yeah. So he saw mine and I saw his, and we just made it happen. He made my ofus in 22 hours. They wouldn't let him come into the hotel. There's a lot of weird things because of COVID. Yeah, COVID's weird. That's don't get us started with COVID, because I know you guys had it really bad here. But it's just weirdness. No one can come in your room. You can't get your makeup done. I'm like, oh no, I'm representing my people. I'm gonna have my makeup, my hair, my outfits done, by my people. And so yeah, we definitely did as much as we could to win it for us. Yeah, I don't think the show did too good because I don't think they had another one after that. But for the most part, it was just a privilege to be on that big of a stage.
Yeah, and to represent.
Yeah, just to represent Samoa on that stage. Everyone's like, what is Samoa? Is that like Somalia? And I'm having these interviews and I'm
are you serious? Did they ask you that?
Somebody asked me that. They said, oh, what is Samoa? Is it Somalia? And I said, did you actually come here to be an interviewer for us and not do your own research on the people that you're interviewing? That's very rude. Yeah, because if I had to, yes, oh yeah, like I said, I'm bold and I'm unfiltered. So yeah, I and even just the red carpets and stuff like that. I mean, most of them didn't know what a Samoan was, and if I had to say The Rock one more time.
Oh, man.
I was like, oh hell no! I'm gonna and it'll be every day, every single day. Because imagine I filmed for 3 months or however long it was. It felt like forever, but we prepared for 8 months. So it was a whole year of this show on NBC, and so yeah, I mean now it's on national TV forever. So it's cool. Y'all have it recorded. It's on my YouTube, me performing. And I brought Taupos up on stage with me. I made sure that I had, and the Taupos that are dancing with me in the show are my sister's volleyball players, because my sister is a coach. And so she brought her volleyball players, girls, you guys are going to see for Tenelle. Yes, that's how you do it. It takes a village, man. You know, I'm like, girls, come. You guys can we were all gonna sleep over, and then they had to wear their kuingas out of my sunroof of my car. So like all of them, because they wouldn't let them, because it was COVID, they wouldn't let my dancers in. It was just so much. My Siva Afi dancer was Rex. So my Siva Afi dancer wasn't able to come in as well. Like it was just, everything was always against us because who knows where Samoa is. And we're just a U.S. territory. We're not one of the 50. You know what I mean? And I was like, hell nah. You know, so I made sure. And plus, because I have a lot of friends that work at NBC, I was like, oh no, girl, I need you to open this gate right now because my dancers coming in. So yeah, we made it happen. Because again, I'm a little bold.
Represent, man. Represent, man.
That's how you got to.
That's so good. That's so good to know, man. And you're the very first person to sing on the podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah, represent again. Yeah.
Did I sing? I felt like I sound shit right now.
Nah,
You better mix
good.
that, okay?
You good. Man, to know.
It's funny you talked. You mentioned being on the big stage and seeing support and family. And I remember reading a story about the first concert where your name was on the flyer and your dad was in the audience, and just him being like soaking up the moment.
You read that?
Yeah, and I thought it was such a beautiful thing,
So cool,
especially because I'm sure the journey would have been such a long process.
Yeah.
And I imagine there's nothing quite like that first moment when someone you love so much is there to witness greatness.
And you know, someone father, right? Like if you're a background singer for years, he's like, I'm not going to your show. I'm not going to go to your show. So you're on the front. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So when that was in Hawaii, I had my first show in Hawaii. And yeah, that was the first show he came. And I remember him having his hand in the air like, that's my daughter. And it was just like the best feeling ever in life is to see your parent in a crowd that sees you doing what you're created to do. And they helped create you. You know what I mean? You know, they were that vessel that helped create you. So then he sees you up there and he's like, you know, because my dad is like my number one fan, you know, and I wanted to quit all my jobs and go full force music. He's like, quit. You know, I had a great job. I had multiple jobs. He's like, just quit. Dude, you should do what you got to do. Go to Japan. I had $200 in my pocket going to Japan on tour with Common Kings. You know what I mean? But that's my faith. But yeah, I totally remember that day like it was yesterday of him doing that and coming, you know, and saying, I told you I'll come to when you had your own set. I was going to come for you opening up for people. Or being a background singer for people. I was going to come for you when you had your own set. And so, yeah, that's my dad. That's OG Tone.
OG, man.
Yeah, he is the OG of all OGs of Carson, California. That's him. Yep. Yep.
How powerful is it to have a parent that fully supports you regardless of your choices? And
it's so powerful. Even just one parent, you know. I mean, if you have both parents, it'd be amazing. You know, my mom is a person that, you know, my mom is very, very firm. You know, my mom and my granny on my black side, they're very like collegiate, graduated. My mom didn't though, but very like business oriented. So professional. This is not a profession to know. You know, you can be a lawyer, you know, because I did very well in academics. And so, you know, I graduated with honors and all kinds of stuff. And so they're like, what? You're going to drop out of college to be a singer? And I'm like, yeah. And I really love it. Like I have faith that I can be a musician, Mom. I really do, Granny. You know what I mean? And my dad's like, fuck them, you do it. You know what I mean? You know, that's my Samoan dad. Like, nah, fuck that, you do it. You know, but Excuse my language if my mom's watching this. I love you, Mom. But now, full circle, right? My mom loves it, but I do recall, like they didn't want me to be a singer. And two, they just wanted what was best for me. They just wanted me to be successful. They wanted me to have a savings account and buy a home and be able to have great credit and have all of those accolades that you have as a regular 9-to-5 person. I'm just not her. My credit shit. I don't own a house, but I love my life. You know what I mean? But that's gonna change soon. But yeah, like I kind of learned from both. But things like, my first tour in New Zealand and we were opening up for Catch a Fire. I remember singing, we had a show in Hamilton. And I remember singing, and mind you, remember my brother is shot and paralyzed at this time, and I had a show in Hamilton, and I remember singing the song Bulletproof, which was my first song I ever wrote. Mind you, nobody knows who I am at all here. And I'm just 23 years old here. And I remember a lady standing up from her wheelchair when I was singing it. She stood up on the lyrics of I only got one shot for it all, for my army. I only got love, it's my armor. I wear it on me. I only got one. So I was like singing, with all of your weapons, shoot. With all of your weapons, shoot. And it's like metaphoric because obviously my brother got shot, but more so like metaphoric. Anything that the doctors said that my brother will never walk again is so not true, because like he's gonna walk. He is walking, you know what I mean, in his time, in God's time. So yeah, just those things. Those are the reasons why I live the way I live. It's not for money or fame. Yeah.
But it comes across quite strong to know. You talk about your mom's side in terms of the business profession.
Oh yeah, very much so.
Yeah, because you sound quite entrepreneurial as well.
Yeah. And too, I get that from them too. I have my own business. I have my own clothing line. I have my own nonprofit organization, and all things I'm still learning. But for the most part, I learned a lot of that from them. But I learned my hustle from my mom too. But I do know like my heart and my faith and like the love that I have in a lot of things, like especially in music, is like, it's from my dad, he always says, do as I say, not as I do,
Yeah.
Do as I say, do as I say, not as I do. That's your mom say? Yeah, man. Like, do that. See, that's a someone thing, man. Do as I say, not as I do. Go make the food. Nah, but yeah, I mean, yeah, man, just it's balance though. It's balance, even my team now, it consists of myself, and I'm my own manager, and then Nessa, my cousin Ness is my videographer, my graphics, does all of anything that's in my head that I see or that I want to do. She'll computerize it and do it. You know what I mean? And she be doing it. She's amazing. My social media, are my websites and my clothing, like all of it is like her and I ideas. So and talking about balance, going back to balance, it's like, she's like the quiet one, but I'm the one that kind of like is loud and, kind of crazy. But she's the one that's like, sis, you know what I mean? Like, sis, be nice. If you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. I'm like, you know what I mean?
She your conscience.
Yeah, she's my conscience or whatever. She just look at her. She's just a sweetheart. But she's a pop off too, though. So don't get it twisted. But then we have my little sister Tani. She's a professional volleyball player. collegiate athlete. All my siblings all graduated from college playing sports, and so except me and my brother Antonio and Nicole. And oh my, he's the baby. But, they're, everyone just athletes. And so like, everyone's now funneling that into different areas of life. And so, yeah, I mean, it's just all about balance. Yeah. Life is that. And so, yeah, I'm balanced with being Black and Samoan and from LA and everywhere else that I am from, Hawaii and Samoa, New Zealand.
How important is that to be your own manager to know? Because I can imagine the stress as well. Obviously, you talk about balance.
Oh, that's stressful. It's just more stressful because I don't know. I don't know all of the business of being a manager yet. You know what I mean? And I have multiple artists that are like, "Hey sis, can you manage me?" Or people's parents coming up to me and being like, "Can you manage my daughter? Or can you manage my son?" And that's why I started Mana, is because so that we can do me first. Because if I'll fail on myself, but I believe in myself more than anybody will. And so if I fail, then I'll figure it out, and then you know what I mean? We'll figure it out, then we'll draw the blueprint again. Then we'll figure it out, then we'll draw another blueprint. But we got to figure it out because all these other artists are looking up to me for me to manage them. And I'm like, hey, I'm not your manager, because that one, I don't like the word manager or assistant. That's like, I can't stand it. It's just a personal thing. But I'm just your sister. Like, I'm just here to help you. But I will probably take 20% once you get big. You know what I'm saying? Because I am a business person at the same time.
That's the one.
That's what big sisters do.
Yeah, that's what big sisters do. They got to take care of themselves so they can take care of you. Yeah, so, yeah, I'm excited for what's to come. Just because so many people see what us at Mana are doing, and so I'm really excited and encouraged for what's to come. I don't know when it will come, but I just know that I need to prepare myself first, and my own music, so that it could fund other people's music. Amen. Because I just know it's music first, and then it's God first. Amen. It's music second, and then it's my family, because then I can take care of everybody.
Cool, man. Props, man.
Sorry, I'm just looking over at Jay's.
You're just taking his notes, huh?
I want to make sure he asks all his questions before.
Yeah, it's just like, let me get one of those questions because I'm falling asleep and I had a long day at work. It's okay. I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
It's funny. I think this is probably the only interview where I haven't filled. Usually I have this weird structure in my notebook. So
oh wow.
Everything I know about you before we meet, I note down during the research and that, quotes. And then all the questions that come to mind, I usually fill the space here. But everything I've learned from you, I write down here.
Oh wow.
And this is the fastest I've filled this out. This is the fastest I've ever filled it out,
so
that it's carried
beautiful.
on here. But most of the questions, they've sort of answered themselves, and I just kind of take it as like, it feels like we're talking with God's mouthpiece. Like, I haven't needed to ask the questions because the wisdom's just come out, and you've just been able to speak it naturally, organically. So
that's the name of a song, eh? We're not gonna talk about it, but
God's mouthpiece. What?
it feels like that.
That's the most beautiful thing anybody has ever said to me. And that's no cap, bro. For reals. I received that. Oh, that is so beautiful. Thank you.
All good. It's all love.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys for having me.
You know what's gonna happen later now. Some guy's watching this. Oh man, I gotta catch up with her. He's gonna come up and say, "You are like God's mouthpiece."
I will know you watch Mandate, and you will be cancelled.
Oh man. I tell you what, sis, it's just been a privilege, a bit of pleasure. I know it's been a long day for you, and just all
for
props.
Us all.
Yeah, props, man. Props to you, and all the best for your endeavors and all the concerts, all the festivals that you're doing, your entrepreneurship and your businesses, all that stuff you're doing. We just pray that God's blessing and God's hand on everything that you do. So,
Thank you.
man, bless you.
I
so
receive
much.
all His blessings. Thank
It's
you.
just been amazing.
And I'll be praying for you guys here at Mandates. This is really, really amazing. It's an honor to meet you guys. Thank you for letting me and my sister Ness come and just share our family with you, because it's never me, it's always us. And yeah, I'm just a vessel, man. And so it was great to pour. And you guys poured into me too, so it's an honor to be here. And thank you for having me. Thank you for watching.
Just grateful to have met you. I think what makes this special is that we have another sister from the other side
from
of the
LA,
world,
yes.
and it's cool to hear your insight in terms of your context and where you're from, and it's encouraging for us to make sure that what we have here is special and it enhances who we are as New Zealand born Samoans and as Pasifika people from this side of the world. And I'm really encouraged by your faith, and just that acknowledgement. Like sometimes, because New Zealand, we're known as like a relaxed people, and we don't get we do, in different parts in terms of like the persecution, so our faith is not heightened as much as those who are living day to day trying to survive. And so hearing you and what you've been through and how you draw on that is really encouraging for I know, not only speaking for myself but for the brothers. And yeah, Jay's right. You have been like God's mouthpiece this evening. So, yeah, just thank you, sis. And you got some brothers here on this side of the world that will always be praying for you. And
thank you.
Can't wait till we see you like.
We'll go for a
live,
feed.
but we'll go for a feed.
Yeah, for sure.
We should go for a feed. How about I just set that in an accent right now? I don't even know who I am right now.
So I feel like I keep up.
Hey, mate. Darling.
But yeah, trust us.
Too
We'll fuck.
okay.
Yeah, similar to the boys, honestly, it's just been a real pleasure. And shout out to Ness as well. I think it's awesome that you guys are.
I know.
It's awesome that you guys are here together, and I'm really excited for what comes next, to hear the album when it comes out. But just, it's really, this one's different. It feels different because I think it's cool to see that our people, even across the world's biggest ocean, are hustling, grinding, putting in the work. And it's just cool to know that, we're represented elsewhere, in other parts of the world. And I can't help but think of, I worked for a company that talked about, where our ancestors were so important, and the stories, like beyond every number is a name, beyond every name is a story. And the story of our people being that, we navigated the world's biggest ocean from island using the environment, the materials around us and the people around us to like map out the world's biggest ocean.
Yes.
And here we are, as vessels of those that have come before, connecting from different parts of the world, but to be united in faith, love, life, and everything that's positive. And so I'm just really grateful that you've been able to stir some of this up within myself at least, but I'm sure also within the boys as well. So just grateful for you both being here, for your time, for your energy, for your mahi. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. It's so received. Wait, I have to share before we go. Hold on. So we were just getting ready to go to sleep last night, and my dad sent Vanessa and I a text message because we haven't been home in a couple months, just because of us intentionally planning to do our album here in Aotearoa and away from home, but to find home. Then and I haven't really talked. I talk to my siblings and my dad every day. Like, I am the person that everyone calls every second for everything, every day. What are we eating? Did you put my clothes in the dryer? Like all that stuff. So my dad texts, I'm so proud of you too, for reals. You know what is tight is when I see y'all pics in New Zealand. My dad's crazy. And I see y'all pics in New Zealand, I think of our parents, of what we came to America for. Tenelle saying, Nessa, you're recording history to be told. Oh my fatasi. Y'all are worldwide now. Look at God. God bless you both. I love you guys so much, and do God's work. Good night. Wow. So like, you know, for my dad to send that, it was everything that I needed to hear at last night. Just everything in life, you know, and us finalizing this album, you know, we didn't know what to do, and I've learned to not have expectations for anything because it'll stress you out. And so yeah, with that being said, yeah, I just know I'm right where I need to be, and us in this space, we're right where we need to be. You guys here at Mandates are right where you need to be. And so this is a beautiful establishment, and yeah, God bless all that you guys have going, all your future endeavors, your guys' personal lives, you know, because that's important for a business to flow. You know, as personals, so that when you guys come into a body of workmanship, you know, it has to start with brothership, you know, and so, yeah, man, shout to you guys. Charlie, I sound like one Kiwi,
Oh, man. You sound too Mickey. When you see someone, you get too Mickey. You say too Mickey.
Too Mickey, bro. Nah, I just, God bless you guys, really, and thank you for having me. This is awesome, and I enjoy doing things like this with all kinds of companies, you know. And so, anyone that you guys know, I'm here for sure. A whole nother month, and so. Man. We'll go for some feeds, and you guys introduce me to your friends.
Yeah. We'll introduce you to someone.
Chalet, not that someone.
But Ness, just thank you so much. And I think we should mic up Ness. You guys want to sing one last song together?
Yeah, Ness, you want to come sing?
Kidding. But we do have a gift for you. Sis. Oh yeah, you can. You want to sing it?
Oh no! Wait, what? You have a gift?
Yeah, we do have a gift for you. We always give our guest a caricature or cartoon of them. Oh! And so thank you.
What
sis.
is it? Are yours? What
yeah,
cartoon?
so we always do a cool. So it's also a box of chocolates as well. So that's chocolate. For you, sis. Maro lava soifua.
What is it? That's how you lucky.
Yeah.
I don't want to look at. Wait, you got it? Oh, I looked at her expression first. She's crying. Oh, look. Oh, you guys drew me.
Every guest that comes on, we always give them a caricature cartoon of them. So, awesome. Bless you, sis.
This is great. Who drew this? You drew this.
Yeah. But thank you so much. Tenelle, is there anyone, but just before we conclude, is there anyone that you can think of that would be ideal to come on the podcast?
Oh my gosh, so many people actually, because so much of my family are coming here in the next couple of weeks. So we should get Brownsville here. Maybe D-Boy, my cousin D-Boy from Carson. Booyah Tribe, maybe Uncle Lucy and them might be down. And they can probably honestly all come together. But yeah, I can make that happen.
Oh man, awesome!
I can ask.
Yeah.
But
so good.
Actually, no, we can make it happen.
Then we go for a feed. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And then we'll go for a feed. Oh no, we're just being for real.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll bring the feed. We'll bring the feed.
You got an oven in here?
Feed.
Is it oven?
Yeah, the oven's here. Yeah, so we'll
I'll
bring the
cook.
Food.
Good, easy. Yeah, I never had no American food made by a Samoan black girl before, huh?
Absolutely not.
Not yet.
Make some mac and cheese and some collard greens and fried chicken.
Some of the cornbread.
Yeah, I can make some cornbread. I got you. I'm telling you, my family's straight from the south, like literally Shreveport, Louisiana. So I got
awesome, man, sis. But we always give our guests the last words. Any words of encouragement to the viewers or to the listeners?
Okay, words of encouragement for our viewers and our listeners. My name is Tenelle Falemana. I am a person that's just like you, a soul just like you, and I'm just here to just uplift, inspire, and to just figure out who I am. So I encourage everybody to pray to God to reveal who you are and why you're here. Find your why. It's important to figure out your why. And I'm honored to be able to figure out my why in music. And if you want to, or you're interested, please listen to my music. You can stream it for free these days. So it costs nothing to support us musicians. And yeah, support is important, man. You need it. Polynesian people, stand up. We're strong, man. I'm really excited though for this album. Stay tuned for the album. Stay tuned for all things. And I don't know, just be great, be nice. It costs nothing to be a nice person. So yeah, the world is going crazy right now, and we need more real in the world. Pray for your words before you deliver them. And just be a nice person. If you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. Man, and if it's bad, just pray about it and go sleep.
Let's
go full feed, mate.
Oh, thanks, Tenelle. Thank you so much, Tenelle.
KFC, mate.
Thanks, Tenelle.
Sorry,
That's good. Please don't forget to like and comment, subscribe. We look forward to your wealth and our comments. And as usual, brothers,
Refine.
Unlock.
Take
take
charge.
charge.
Mandate.